Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Tea. I'm your girl, Alex Shipman, and I am joined by my amazing co-host, Mr. Courtney Revolution. Hey, Courtney, how you doing?
Hey, Alex. Hey, T-Tribe. Happy Monday. I'm Courtney Revolution. Welcome to the Morning Tea.
Right.
Good girl. I'm hanging in there, and I just found out as the title intro was playing that ASOS was having a sale for 80% off, girls. So you know I'm about hopefully spend a very, very, very small coin and get me like a t-shirt or like a bucket hat or something, girl.
Yes.
Gotta catch ASOS having a sale.
Love a good sale. Listen, whenever we get those emails, it just brings a smile to our face. So keep them coming because we appreciate a good deal, especially right now, right?
Yes, ma'am. Let's make a deal that after the show, I find some styles for cheap.
Yes.
Also, good morning to, because I already see you're starting it off. Amanda's already given us that mug of something, girl. It might be tea, it might be coffee, but she's giving it to us. So good morning, Amanda. Amanda always reminds the Tea Tribe, you guys, to like the video, share the video, leave comments if you're watching live or an after sipper, and thank you for Amanda.
Yes, and good morning to Faith as well, who says, good morning, Alex and Courtney. Happy to be sharing the morning with you. Karina saying, good morning, Tea Tribe. April saying, another fine day with you guys. Yes, it is a fine Monday. Courtney, how was your weekend?
It was a very stellar weekend. You know what I did, Alex, honestly? I watched TV, of course. You know we always spend this time talking about TV. I did watch about 1 or 2 more episodes of Bridgerton, so I have 1 more left. Very scandalous out in the cobblestone streets. And my friends, they're finally catching on, Alex. They're like, ooh, should I check it out? Yes, the answer is yes. Watch Bridgerton. But also what I did this weekend, Alex, was I played a lot of Mario Kart, girl. Shout out to those that have a Nintendo Switch. If you don't, you have a Nintendo 64, GameCube, pop in the old Mario Kart and play a lap for me. I had fun. It was a good weekend. Relaxing.
That sounds amazing and perfect. And Courtney, now you officially know what all the hype is about Bridgerton, right? You've gotten to the scandalous scenes and now you get it.
Alex, listen, Bridgerton needs 25 seasons. That's what I want to say. It needs 25 seasons. I'm curious to see how this last episode is going to go. Very curious, Alex.
I am curious as well. You know what I started? I think I told you before about The Servant on Apple Plus. So season 2 just came out, and it's getting creepier and creepier as the show goes on. It's a good one. I told you before, it's kind of like a thriller where it's spooky, but there's not like nothing jumps out at you because I'm not into like really horror movies, but I love a good thriller, a good story behind it. So if you haven't checked out The Servant, that's a good one. I also finished Your Honor, which I think I told you about on Friday. It's it's always sad when you come to the end of your shows and you don't know what's next.
I want to ask you a question in the Tea Tribe also. Have you ever watched a show, Alex, and although you were enjoying it, you weren't 100% aware of what actually was going on? Because I've been battling with talking about this on the show because I didn't want to embarrass myself. But I've also, on the side, been watching this show on Stars called American Gods. The first season, because I know there's about 3 seasons of it, Alex. And girl, I'm on like episode 6 or 7, and I am only aware of maybe 1 of the 3 storylines. Like once it switches to the B plot and the C plot, I don't know what is going on. There's like Marilyn Monroe in one part. Girl, it started off with a man in prison, girl. Let me just give you the basics. It started off with a man in prison, girl, right? He called his wife, right? And she was fine. She was like, oh, come home, puppy. And then he got out of prison, girl, and the wife was dead. Totally fine. Wife was dead. She was cheating on him with the good friend. And they perished together in the crash. But then somehow it gets like real intergalactic, girl, and a man pop up, and he's got the main character working for him. Girl, it's a lot going on, but y'all need to watch American Gods on Stars and then come back to me what's going on, because it's good. I'm on like episode 6. I just don't know what's going on.
When you just told me that Marilyn Monroe shows up, I was sold. So now I need to check that out. But I'm happy you let me know because I'm coming to the end, as I just mentioned, on all my shows. So I need something new. T-Tribe, let us know in the chat if there's any new shows you're watching we need to check out. Oh, Teddy J says American God is so good, Courtney. So Teddy J.
Listen, I love Teddy J in real life. That is my real life best friend who's popped into the show. Oh, so good morning, Teddy, and good to see you.
Oh, good morning, Teddy, real life friend. We love a little real life friend. Isn't that the best? When real life friends come out, even though the T-Tribe, don't get us wrong, you are our real life.
Oh, T-Tribe, my real friends. I talk about y'all all day.
Speaking of real life friends, T-Tribe, let us know in the chat where are you watching the morning tea from this morning. You know we love to hear all the cool places you're checking us out from. And while you're doing that, Courtney, let me break down what we have on the show today because, of course, as every Monday goes, there's a lot of mess that happens over the weekend, and we have so much tea to spill. Starting off with JoJo Siwa getting swatted following her coming out online. I know we discussed this story last week. People were speculating. Well, she did come out and it was a beautiful story, but unfortunately things got a little crazy. So we'll tell you about that. Then Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler post an Instagram pic together that is making everyone go crazy. We'll tell you all about that story. Also, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's Meredith Marks claims quarantine saved her marriage, which I don't think a lot of people can say. So this is a good story. Also, Quavo and Sweetie getting married. I don't know. People are speculating about a recent comment he made on her Instagram. So we'll tell you about that. And then some tough news about Kanye West going off on Chance the Rapper in a newly released video that came out. We'll tell you about this story. Then we're also talking about BTS's release of their album. BTS Army got an extra album, a deluxe, extended, however you want to refer to it, album, and they must be ecstatic. Also, SZA is possibly collabing with Frank Ocean. This is some cool news. We'll tell you about that. Then Miley Cyrus is performing at the Super Bowl. Some exciting news to wake up to this morning. And then behind the car gender gates, Courtney and Travis Barker are officially dating, according to sources, and fans really think that Khloe may be pregnant again with this latest photo. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. And then finally, for our OMT story of the day, we're talking about Justin Bieber's recent post about his 2014 arrest in Miami. It was the anniversary of that, and he spoke up about this, so we'll tell you about that. So we have a lot to dive into today. Courtney, are you ready to do this? Do you have your hot water? Let's pour it up.
Alex, I got my hot water. We got a couple things real quick. First of all, good morning to Hero. I have a tea bag in my pocket. That's what y'all see me doing. Shout out to Hero. Hero is saying American Gods is good but confusing. And honestly, I agree. Alex, when you get a chance to check out that first episode, I wonder if it will hook you. Also, I wanted to say, hey, good morning, Beliebers. I'm sure you've clicked on this video and you're like, I'm only here for, I hate when people say that. I'm only here for Justin Bieber. So just to let you know, Justin Bieber is not coming into the OMT, which is at the end of the show. So if T-Tribe, if you'll do us all a favor, when you see me in like, did they talk about Justin yet? Or I'm only here for Justin, can you please let them know it'll happen during the OMT? Thanks, y'all. And I'm ready. The water is poured, and now it's time to cheers, my dear.
Yes, cheers to this. Cheers to tea. Cheers to Monday. Cheers to some motivation on this Monday because, listen, I'm a big, and I know you are as well, Courtney, a quote person, a motivational Monday person, and coffee. Listen, coffee and tea helps some motivation. So drink up all of this so we can get into it. All right. If you're new here, of course, we kick off the show with You Missed It, and these are all the stories you may have missed overnight. But don't worry, Courtney and I make sure to handle all the trending tea for you. And first up, we're talking about this JoJo Siwa story because JoJo Siwa excited fans last week, of course, after she came out as queer on her social media. She shared this pic of a shirt her cousin had gotten for her, which read, quote, "Best gay cousin ever." This was met with a flurry of support online, with fans and celebs alike responding to JoJo. This excitement wasn't all good, though, because JoJo herself explained on her videographer's Instagram this. In the video, JoJo described how she was swatted. That was a little clip of it. We'll get into it. A term that refers to when paparazzi will call the police on a celebrity's home to get them to come out of their house in order to take photos of them and get all the content they need. This ended up happening to JoJo over the weekend. Following her social media announcement, JoJo said this. Take a listen.
Those police could have had much better time spent somewhere else, you know, actually helping somebody instead of dealing with a fake claim from paparazzi.
So while JoJo didn't seem to be too fazed by the situation, this is obviously a breach of privacy to some degree. Courtney and T-Tribe, what do you make of this?
I'm annoyed and I'm angry, and how immature. I think a situation like this, firstly, let me say this. Shout out to JoJo Siwa for showing us a very calm side, because Alex, swatting is not anything to joke about. You get what I'm saying? Anyone could have lost their life, including JoJo Siwa, and all of this for like a photograph. You get what I'm saying? I just don't see the trade-off. It very much was giving me Britney Spears. Like, we'll do anything to get a picture of her. And I feel like with both Britney and JoJo Siwa, both of those women could have been hurt. So I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm proud that she's out and proud. And, you know, this is such a huge step. A lot of people don't realize coming out is such a huge step, and to do it on such a big scale. And y'all know where I'm about to go with that. But the swatting stuff, I can't get with, just because there's an element of danger there that it's not funny to me. It's not a joke.
I agree. I think, you know, this is the scary side of the celebrity world. I mean, these paparazzi a lot of times will do anything to get that photo, and not to defend them, but this is, you know, the way they make their money as well. So I feel for JoJo in this part, because this was such a beautiful moment that had to be kind of taken over by this squatting. And like JoJo said herself, police have a lot on their plate right now, and they could have a much better time spent somewhere else helping people during this time. And so it's just unfortunate, and I can't believe it was brought to that level. Also,
Alex, it just goes to show that also being gay today, although it may not be as big of a deal as it was back then, it's still a big deal, to the point where their job would call the police to try to get somebody to the house. You get what?
Right.
And there are still some people that try to make it seem like it's, you know, it's just being gay or fine now. There's still not, you know, crimes committed against them. Like, this is an example of that.
Right. And what's so sad to me too is that JoJo had to say nothing. And I think she was doing everything right. I mean, she was, you know, publicly through her photos, and then she went live and thanked everyone. I mean, she gave many different statements that they could have done enough with. The media could have taken what she said and ran with it. And that they had to take it to the next step just really upsets me.
Well, shout out to JoJo. I'm glad that she handled it maturely. Like, you get what I'm saying? She could have been angry, girl. We could have seen her with her hair a while, but that's just not the kind of person that she is. I'm sure that with coming out, she may have even expected some sort of response like this or something like this to happen. And maybe that's why she was able to handle it in the way that she did. So shout out to her. Also, shout out to Jakara. Jakara saying, "I've missed you guys. It's been a while since it's been here. How have you guys been? I've been really busy lately. I'm happy I'm graduating in May." Well, congrats, Jakara. Congrats to all of our graduates and everyone in school are thinking about it. We missed you. And girl, we still here hanging out, spelling the little T.
Yes, congratulations on that, and thanks for joining us again this morning. It's always great to start with us on a Monday. Now you have the rest of the week to enjoy the tea with us. So welcome back, girlfriend. All right, speaking of that, welcome back, girlfriends or wives. Oh man, that was awful. So Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler sent their fan bases ablaze over the weekend after posting a pic together to Instagram. The pic of the two of them, posted to both of their Instagram pages, showed the former couple together and at ease. They captioned the photo, quote, "The world is full of users. 10 years, can't break that." So, of course, this sparked rumors everywhere about the divorced couple possibly getting back together. Sources told Us Weekly that the rumors were false, saying, quote, "There are no talks of Jay and Kristen getting back together. They are just friends. Kristen is single. Kristen and Jay have remained friends. They will always have each other's back no matter what. Co-parenting has been going well. They are doing the best they can." So, this relationship seems to be working out since Kristen and Jay split back in April of 2020. This photo does seem to show that not all celebrity divorces need to end in absolute misery. So, Courtney, there is a whole nother layer of this story that I have to bring to everyone's attention. If you are not a Southern Charm fan, let me just break down quickly what's going on here. So, of course, Kristen and Jay have been separated. Kristen, I think we spoke about on the show, was rumored dating Jeff Dye, comedian. I think that's over, but they were having a little fling. And then we spoke about it on the show that Kristen was spotted in Nashville with the Southern Charm guys, Craig and Austin. Now, Austin Kroll sparked some rumors that maybe something was going on. And if you know Southern Charm, you know that Austin was dating Madison LaCroix on the show. They just broke up and they've had this like tumultuous on and off relationship. And so people thought that Kristen and Austin were maybe having something. Austin was going to Watch What Happens Live. This is a whole tangent. But anyway, Andy asked him. He said no. But during this time, there's a rumor that Jay reached out to Madison, Austin's ex, to try and have some fun over there. Now, fast forward to this weekend. Madison went Instagram Live and I guess made a comment about Kristen and Austin, which didn't make anyone happy. Justin Anderson chimed in, which of course is Kristen Cavallari's best friend, trying to kind of shut down these rumors. Anyway, long story short, they posted this photo to kind of basically say like, whatever's going on, we're still good. And so it has nothing to do, sadly, Kristen and Jay fans, about them getting back together. I think it was trying to shut down other noise, if that makes sense. So there's a lot going on. There are a lot of layers than just this photo being posted. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
You see my mind? You see my hat? My hat was damp on my head. Girl, my hat was levitating like Dua Lipa, girl. It was so much, girl, but I was living for it. I feel like this. Firstly, I would have never guessed that any of this had to do with Southern Charm at all. I genuinely was thinking about the fact that they had something. Girl, now my hat and my wig is all crooked. I was thinking when they were going through the divorce stuff, and there was something in the paperwork that had said something like they weren't allowed to say anything bad about each other, which led me to believe that maybe they would have sort of like a messy split, or maybe it was expected that that would happen. So to see them together, kind of like, oh, well, maybe they're just friendly, or maybe they're just really, really, really good at co-parenting. I will leave with this, Alex, before we move on. If Kristen wasn't Kristen Cavallari from Laguna Beach and Jay was a hockey player, girl.
NFL.
If they weren't NFL, girl, one of the sports, girl, they were sweating.
Big
girl, with
sports fan over there.
They weren't like who they were with their platforms and their history, girl. If that is not the way to get on Southern Charm, they weren't reality stars. If that's what they were looking for, that's the way in. Because that sounds like something that would make me want to start watching. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a marriage that's falling apart. There's children involved. Although shout out to the children, we don't want any negativity to come their way. But that sounds good. The good triangle, girl.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here, but all in all, I will say that is a way to shut it all up. You know what I mean? Like that is a way to say, listen, 10 years, can't break that. That just silences all the noise. So happy to see that they're at least, in a good place, co-parenting and I guess we'll just stay tuned, or maybe you'll see it on the next season of Southern Charm, right?
I feel like I might need to start watching it now.
Yeah, the reunion is this week, and another season is going to start up in a few months. You got to tune in, Courtney. I think you'd like it.
Come on, y'all.
Yes. Okay. Speaking of other, reality shows, quarantine has done a lot of things, but save a marriage? I don't know. That is what Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Meredith Marks is claiming in a new interview with TV Talk on Instagram. Meredith and her husband, Seth, have been living separate lives after being married for 25 years. But after a long time not dealing with their problems, the couple was forced into a situation where they had to try to make things work again. So Meredith said, quote, "We really worked hard. We were communicating, and that was huge. It was everything. And then with COVID, we were forced to really spend a lot of time together, which we have not done in many years. That was really positive. We were fortunate. It could have gone the other way. I think for a lot of people, it does." So Meredith went on to say that quarantine made her reflect on how she communicates in stressful situations. She recognized that between hiding her marriage issues from her children and failing to even talk to Seth, she was not doing right by anyone. So she also said that what she saw on screen watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City made her think twice about how she engages with her husband and other people. So what do you think of Meredith and Seth trying to salvage their marriage, and kind of Meredith reflecting on watching herself and changing her perspective?
I guess in this particular instance, shout out to the quarantine, because we don't hear a lot of these kinds of stories, Alex. Like, I'm sure without the quarantine, if you're afraid to face something in your relationship, you have the ability to like run away. Like we see that a lot on reality TV, where like a husband or a wife will get in the car and it like speeds off because they've exited a conversation, a really important one usually. But when you are stuck, or else there's a chance you may become sick, you kind of don't have the choice but to face those things. So maybe Meredith and Seth, I think his name is, right? They were able to sit down and really work things out. I am happy for them. I do like Meredith on the show. Y'all know I love all the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I enjoy her on the show. So I think going forward into the next season, it will bring a new dynamic, because right now their storyline is the fact that they're separated. And why? Girl, real quick, Alex, before we move on, because I know we only got an hour in T-Tribe, y'all going through y'all partner's phones or not? Or are you like, you don't need that information? Because that was a really big argument, to my recollection, that they had at a dinner. Was like, I'll give you my phone, you wouldn't give me yours. And I'm the person that's like, well, you don't need to go through my stuff. Like, for what? If you have trust, you don't need to have each other's. But some people don't feel that way.
I completely agree with your statement, Courtney. I believe that trust and communication is the most important thing. So if you're searching in someone else's phone, you already know the answer. If you feel something in your gut or your intuition where you have to search your partner's phone, something's going on that you really need to figure out. So I'm not looking at any phones. No one needs to look at my phone, but I understand. I understand someone wanting to do that if they feel that something's not right. So I will say that. I also think that it is very interesting that this happened during quarantine. And that's what, just like we said with the Jay and Kristen post right before, 10 years, 25 years, listen, if a bond is good, if there's a foundation there, you can't break it. So with quarantine, you've either seen relationships thrive or people have separated. So this one shows that there really is a good foundation there. And it starts with yourself. And you have to go deep inside and reflect and realize what's going on. Everyone needs to be honest in order to move forward. And I think that's what she's trying to say here. She saw herself and she said, listen, there are issues and that's okay, but let's talk about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's like Kristen. Remember Kristen on New York, Alex? There's Kristen on Real Housewives of New York, y'all, real quick. That first season she came on, her husband was yelling at her, girl. Her husband did. It appeared as though he didn't give a damn about her, girl. But once they were able to watch the show back, he was like, oh, yikes. And then when they came back, it was a little bit more healthy. It was a complete 180, girl. He was picking up the baby off the floor and everything else. He wasn't paying Kristen no mind the first season, girl. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't watch Real Housewives of Orange County, but that also happened with Emily, one of the castmates on the show. Her husband came back this season, and he has, people joke online about it, that he has made the biggest Real Housewives comeback in history because people despised him, and now he's back and better than ever. At least people are saying. I want to shout out April, who says, I changed my husband's ringtone and background for jokes. LOL, that's it. Now, April, I'm about that. Listen, if you're going to get a laugh out of it, that's okay. You can go into his phone to do something cute like that. Okay, well, listen to this next news. Are Quavo and Sweetie going to tie the knot, Courtney? Because that was the question the celebrity couple left fans wondering after a flirty Instagram exchange over the weekend. Sweetie posted this pic of herself looking amazing, by the way, to her Instagram page. Quavo, not one to let pics like this go without a comment, said, "My wife." Now, this comment, of course, sent fans into a frenzy, wondering if the rappers had finally taken the next step. Quavo and Sweetie, I don't think he said it like that, but he have been very cute with each other on social media for a while now. Sweetie even spoke to when she realized that Quavo was in love with her in a recent interview, saying, quote, "The moment I realized that Quavo really loved me is when he saved me some of his food. He gave me his last piece of chicken. Those are the things that really matter, the things that have no price on them. The Bentley is cool, but I'm really into intimacy and how you treat me with my emotional feels." So do you think that we have to watch out for rings and things from these two in the close future? And what did you think of Sweetie's comment regarding when she knew Quavo was in love? What's your love language, Courtney?
Firstly, in a nice way, I'm not reading you. I just want to offer clarity. Maria in the chat. Maria saying, didn't he cheat on her? And the answer to that is no, because Saweetie would not be with Quavo. Believe that. Second of all, I love Sweetie and Quavo. I know that's right. That's really my girl, Alex Schiffman. I enjoy watching their relationship because I feel like it's realistic and down to earth. Do I think they're getting married today, this week, this month? No. Would I be surprised if with time they did get married and have a huge, amazing, iconic wedding? Yes. Saweetie has like this big family. They're all gorgeous. They all like work hard. Like you really have to like, y'all do your homework on Saweetie and watch her vlogs too. She's great. In terms of my love language, to answer your questions, you know, I'll be going on and on, Alex. I am words of affirmation and gift giving. Like I don't require like a gift or maybe acts of service. I think acts of service and words of affirmation are probably mine. As a Taurus, gift giving is just right underneath. But what about you, Alex? And T-Tribe, what's your love language?
I'm exactly who you are, Courtney. I love a good word of affirmation, acts of service. But acts of service and gifts go hand in hand. I don't need a gift as in like material things, but like you do the dishes that day, or if just an act of service, I guess that is, or if you thought about me extra and know I like this special milk and you brought it home, that kind of stuff I really appreciate.
Yes.
Because that's how I work, like that's what I do, so maybe that's what I need as well. I don't know. What about you, T-Tribe? Let us know in the chat. But I think
are y'all saving the last piece of chicken? That's what I want to know. Y'all that hungry? Y'all saving the last piece of chicken?
That is love, because I know a man loves his last piece of chicken, and if he's saving that for Sweetie, that is showing true love. I love that quote from her.
Me too. I'm a chicken leaver as well. I'm always the person that has like scraps on the plate, so I really am the chicken leaver. So I identified with that way too closely.
Totally. I fully agree with that. And they seem to be in a really happy and great relationship. So good for them. But I don't know. I don't know if rings are coming anytime soon. But I would be here for it.
I'm trying to be there.
I know. Well, before we get into our next story, because that was a sweet one, I see our girl Miss Mika in the chat, Courtney. So let's do a little 5, 6, 7, 8.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya. Miss Mika, she on fleeka. Miss Mika, she loves the tia. And we see ya. Miss Mika, go Mika, go Mika, go Mika. Happy Monday to our good sis Mika. You already know it's cute over there in Nebraska.
Good morning, Miss Mika, and of course the rest of the Feud tribe. All right, let's get into this more difficult story because Chance the Rapper and Kanye seem to have had a falling out last year that we are just finding out about now. So Damon Dash recently posted a YouTube documentary, which has since been removed, might I add, that shows a visit Chance made to Wyoming last summer amidst the drama surrounding Kanye's presidential run. So in the clip, Kanye is in a rage and yells at Chance to sit your ass down and listen to the album or leave. Chance was one of many friends who went out to visit Kanye at the time, including Justin Bieber, Dave Chappelle, and Damon Dash himself. While Damon explained that Chance and Kanye worked it out in the end, tweets over the weekend gave more credence to what had happened. A few fans were working out what was going on in the video, and Chance himself liked the responses, seemingly confirming some of the facts about Kanye's mental state at the time and how he was lashing out due to his manic episode. What do you make of this video and the news surrounding it?
Now, we talked about this before the show, obviously, Alex, and initially I was confused about why Damon Dash would release this footage, right? I was very confused, T-Tribe. It just didn't make sense. But if we flash back, Alex, to just last week, probably, whenever we were talking about the divorce, which is, girl, just about any and every day, one of the days I had mentioned that we would probably hear a lot from Kim and the Kardashian, what have it, about what has broken down the marriage, et cetera, et cetera. And maybe this is Kanye's camp coming out with a look, you know, there was more of a health thing going on last year than anything else. You know what I mean? Not defending Kanye, you already know how y'all get. Kanye saying anything that he's done is right, but I do think that it sort of opens a window for us to see what was really going on, because we already know Chance the Rapper's not a bad guy, and he's not going to intentionally to bring harm to that man or his family. So very interesting story, and I'm curious to know if we'll see a full documentary or more clips from last year that gives us an insight to what was going on with Kanye.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting timing this is coming out right now. Of course, it's not something to take lightly because this footage that's coming out was during the time that Kanye was having, you know, his health issues or his mental health. And so I'm interested to learn more about why this is coming out just now. And like you said, you know, Chance the Rapper is not a bad guy. He does not have bad intentions. I wonder what's going through his head at this moment. I know there were a few tweets that circulated online that he had liked, basically just explaining like, hey, he was coming from a good place, going out there to support Kanye and be there for him. So I'm interested to learn more about what Damon Dash's kind of intentions were behind this, because I feel as if yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Alex.
No worries. I was just saying because it is. I thought that we not that we moved past it, but it's just why now.
That's what led me to think that it's coming out now, because everything in terms of the divorce on Kim's side, it's very one-sided. It makes me, this particular story makes me wonder, well, what happened when Justin went there? Remember, Justin went down there and we didn't really hear nothing too much about it. It was just like Justin was there and I was like, the pandemic is on, remember? So did they have a similar experience? I'm curious.
Interesting. Me too. All right, well, let's move on to some lighter news, some new music news that I know BTS Army is going to be very excited about, because BTS is just the band that keeps on giving. Announced yesterday, BTS will be releasing a new version of their recent album B, coming February 19th. B, Essential Edition, will feature 8 tracks from their deluxe edition, as well as premium packaging, randomized photo cards, and a poster. The group also teased out that they will be unveiling surprise gifts leading up to the Essential Edition's release. So K-pop fans are used to these kinds of releases or re-releases and clamor to collect the merch from their favorite groups. What do you think of this re-release, Courtney and T-Tribe? And do you think that it's only a matter of time until this kind of merchandising strategy hits the U.S.?
I would love to see this kind of merchandising strategy hit the U.S. We already know that, of course, we have the girls that put out the really, really underwhelming, overpriced merch. I think I would appreciate, something more personal. Not that a poster is crazy personal, but I would rather have that than something that's going to have a hole in it and not fit potentially or shrink, or how after a while merch doesn't sentimental value because you've worn it to gym class 50 million times or worn it to the coffee place. Give me a poster, girl. Give me something I could frame. Also very curious about the surprise gifts. If you're part of the BTS army, can you tell us what you think the surprise gifts are? And may I have one?
Me too. I'm interested about the surprise gifts as well. Let us know in the chat if you know what it could be. But when it comes to the Essential Edition, I think this is really cool and great timing. Of course, BTS was nominated for a Grammy. The Grammys were canceled, so this is just like an extra little surprise to keep the momentum going and give fans, more music from them, which is all everyone really wants. So super cool, great timing, and I'm excited.
We'll have bring it.
Bring it. All right. Okay. Speaking of bringing it, SZA wants to deliver more than just good days to her fans, because following the release of her single Good Days, SZA responded to some fans asking for some very particular collabs. One fan tweeted, quote, "Good Days by SZA featuring Frank Ocean would literally cure Corona." Earlier this month, and SZA responded via Instagram stories, she said, "I'ma ask, LOL. If SZA is able to get through to the crooning superstar, this would be Frank Ocean's first track in almost a year. Where do you think Frank has been, Courtney and T-Tribe, and how likely do you think it is that we could get a collab out of these two artists?"
Honestly, Alex, the last time I heard from Frank Ocean was he was trying to throw like a club night in New York, and I don't think it went over too well. And that was the last time I honestly, truly heard from him. You know how Frank loved to keep to himself and mind his business. But I would not be surprised if this were the thing that sort of brings him out of hiding. He's very particular about what sort of projects that he works on, and anything that he does touch usually gets a lot of attention. And I feel like SZA deserves. Who do you want to see collab? We already know Frank Ocean and SZA is gonna sound great. But who do you, Alex and T-Tribe, who do y'all want to see collab, no matter how crazy or fantastical? Give us some options.
Mm-hmm. Well, we already talked about the Billie Eilish kind of EDM thing. Yes, I think it was yesterday, which would be super cool. I think, I would like to see the 5 powerhouse women, like the Adele's, Kelly Clarkson, all the people we've been so excited to see come out with a new album. I want them all to just do one together. Wouldn't that be great? Or that would be a great tour also. I don't know if they could pull that off, but the female icon for pop icons would be super cool, right?
Could you imagine that ticket price, girl? We bank on that one, girl. No, that's cheapy. That ain't gonna be one that you spend about $100 on. That's gonna be it might be just to get nosebleeds, girl. I think for me, Alex, I'm telling you, I would be half of a year for that. But I might have to be there. Is Celine gonna be part? Can Celine come about the floor?
Celine is the finale, 100%.
I mean, I really, and y'all have heard me say this before, I really would love to see Lizzo and Harry together, that they have organic chemistry, and I see very funk direction. I think that is a given. Also, I wouldn't be mad down the line, like 2 years from now, Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift. But that's only after Taylor and Selena have worked together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be super cool. I love collabs. I know I've said this many times, but I only think it makes it better. You know, there's no I in team. I don't know if that's the right analogy to use right now. You know what I'm saying? More talent is always better. So throw them all in.
Better together.
Better together. Exactly. All right. Speaking of better together, The Weeknd isn't the only superstar making a Super Bowl debut, because announced yesterday, Miley Cyrus told her Instagram followers that she would be performing at the upcoming TikTok tailgate. Miley wrote, quote, Super Bowl LV. I'll be there for TikTok tailgate. I can't wait to put on a show for the NFL's honored guests before the game. Healthcare workers from Tampa and around the country join the tailgate at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, February 7th on TikTok and CBS. Of course, from Miley, the TikTok tailgate is held being an appreciation of healthcare workers across the U.S. for their dedication and sacrifice during the pandemic. The event will be held for over 7,500 workers who have already received both of their coronavirus vaccine shots. Speaking about the event, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said, quote, these dedicated healthcare workers continue to put their own lives at risk to serve others, and we owe them our ongoing gratitude. We hope in a small way that this initiative will inspire our country and recognize these true American heroes. This is also an opportunity to promote the importance of vaccination and appropriate health practices, including wearing masks in public settings. The event will also be streamed live by CBS. What do you think of Miley performing before the Super Bowl, and what do you think of this small gesture to healthcare workers in general?
So the people that will be there, Alex, just for clarity, they've been vaccinated.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Sorry, I froze out a little bit. Okay, there you go. So you get your vaccination. How it's supposed to work, y'all, is you get vaccinated, both shots, and then you wait 2 weeks, and it's supposed to be you all right. So put your mask on. I'm very interested to see how this is going to turn out, what it's going to look like, and if people are going to tune in, which I'm sure people will. It's super. To be honest, Alex, like I told you this morning, I would rather The Weeknd and Miley swap. I would prefer to see Miley do something completely ridiculous, emotional, and abstract on the Super Bowl stage, and only the way that Miley could do, than see The Weeknd do. I don't know what he's going to do, but he might pop up out of a coffin, and that's going to be great. But I would rather see Miley screech. I'm glad that they are using the opportunity for the Super Bowl, right? All eyes will be on the Super Bowl that day to sort of, they're like not directly promoting getting vaccinated, but they are a little bit by telling us, like, look, we're all able to be in this and see this performance together with our mask on, but we've been vaccinated. Look, Miley's on stage. It's almost kind of like saying, think about this, and this could be, the outcome. It's subtle, but it's there, Alex, because there is that big conversation in the country, which we won't get into. But,
I agree. I think that this is super cool. I love that TikTok now has a TikTok tailgate at the Super Bowl. Marketing genius. Love a good alliteration. No, but I think that it's all, as we just said, it'll only make the Super Bowl, performances, halftime show, everyone involved. I know her is also supposed to be involved. I think she might be singing the national anthem. So it'll be super cool. And I love that Miley's also giving back during this time and appreciating healthcare workers that have been dedicated and sacrificing for us during this entire time. So there's a lot of good that comes from this story. What I will say, when you talked about The Weeknd, I feel that there's going to be big dramatics. Like he's going to fly in through a car, or like you said, come out of the coffin. I don't know, but it's going to be big. I just have this feeling that he's going to take it to the next level because since there's not that large of an audience this year, they're going to have to come through the screen and capture all of our hearts,
You know what I always say, Alex? If I'm not really too interested in the performance, I want the performance to be so good, so undeniable that I'm able to come in that next and sit here in the studio and go, Alex, I'm not gonna lie, girl. When he popped about the coffin, girl, and his face caught on fire and the car blew up, girl, I was shook. Like, that's what I want to be able to say. So you'll see. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If I love it, I will right here and be like, Alex, I was wrong, girl. Abel did that.
Yeah.
But we'll have.
I'm excited. Also, for those that don't know or care, the LV stands for 54. So it is the Super Bowl 54. Okay, just a little fun fact for your Monday. Okay, Courtney, it's that time. Enough of new music, even though we can never get enough. It's time to talk about our favorite family, and we have some good tea for you today. So, Courtney, beep, beep, I'm here at the gates. Let me in. We have to talk about relationships and babies and all that jazz.
Alrighty, if you guys are all set for from behind the Cargender gates, be sure to turn your volumes down for Cargender Tea Time! Hello to everyone in my studio, which is no one, just myself.
Okay, so looks like the Insta flirting has paid off because, get this, T-Tribe, a source confirmed to Us Weekly yesterday that Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker are officially dating. The famous friends have been sparking relationship rumors ever since they were spotted commenting on each other's Instagram posts earlier this month. Then Kourt and Travis both spent time together at Chris's Palm Springs compound last week, sending fans into a tailspin online. I think Travis posted that he was there. We all know that shot of the house. The source told Us Weekly, quote, Kourtney and Travis are officially a couple. They've been close friends for years and have been dating for a couple months. Travis is very smitten with Kourtney and has been for a while. So, cue something flirty from Scott any day now. Am I right, Kourtney and T-Tribe? What do you think of this pairing, though? And do you think that these longtime friends have what it takes to be a power couple?
Firstly, I just want to say thank the Lord that Kourtney Kardashian is dating someone that is over the age of like 25. I think that that's dope. Go off. And the reason why I'm saying that is not that I'm like saying, well, I'll just say this. Maybe her dating an older man will cause her to act more maturely in her relationships, and this one will work out. So firstly, I want to say I'm rooting for her on that. Also, Alex, I just want to say, we like to see through the PR on the show, but look, storyline secured, right? Because she needs one. Chloe and Tristan, Kim and Kanye, and now Kourtney and Travis, Kendall and Devin, ? Right? And Kylie and is she or won't she with Travis. Ta-da! The show's complete. Now we need Blac Chyna to do something in court, and all the stones are in the glove, right? Isn't that what y'all say, Marvel fans? And ta-da! Beautiful season. I'm ready. No, but in all seriousness, I think that this is a good couple, and I'm here for them, and I'm curious to see how it winds up.
Me too. I think that this kind of makes sense. It's not necessarily a pairing we see happening, but we know Kourtney loves a good bad boy because Scott has that bad boy swag in him. Even though Travis Barker is super sweet and really great guy, but he, Blink-182, we can't forget that. And then, of course, they have children that are similar in age. Mason, he has Alabama and Landon, and so who love TikTok. So maybe they can, do some collabs together. But also they live in the same community in Calabasas. And so they've been around each other for a while. They seem, like you said, he's older. He's stable in his own way. He can be independent. She can be independent. This may work out well.
We'll have to see. I mean, I just won't be surprised if, magically Scott is like engaged next week or like, girl, you know how they do. Y'all, T-Tribe, y'all know how they do. One does one thing, the other one does something else. So I'll be waiting Scott's new something or Scott's big update that will come within the next like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Amanda's saying he looks like Scott. Shocker. Do you think Travis Barker looks like Scott?
I don't think so. Maybe if you squint, maybe glasses off. Maybe if I take my glasses off, they might look a little similar. But hey, maybe.
Similar coloring, I guess. But does Scott have tats?
They
No,
both got a little
right?
edge.
Does Scott
Maybe
have tattoos?
Maybe that's it. They got a little edge. Maybe underneath his shirt.
Yeah.
Probably.
I
feel like he does.
I feel like maybe he does, but not visible ones. That T-Tribe, let us know. If Scott has
got some ink.
I mean, he doesn't have some.
I feel like in my imagination, it could go either way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could imagine him without tattoos, or I could imagine him covered in tattoos. But I feel like the covered in tattoos doesn't make sense all the way.
Yeah, because he's he's half like a pretty boy Hamptons guy, so it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, but let us know if you know. And while you're doing that, fans really want what they want. Khloe posted a pic to her Instagram over the weekend that his fans convinced she is pregnant. The photo in question shows Khloe deep in conversation with what looks like to be a couple of other people. In the pic, she is wearing baggy clothing, assumably from her brand Good American. Khloe captioned her photo, quote, "Designing my destiny." On top of all of this, she also posted a throwback photo from when she was pregnant with True to her Instagram stories, stirring the pot further. Fans responded with comments such as, "Someone's pregnant. I bet the baby's name is Destiny. And she is around 5 months." God, fans are doctors now. Khloe has been promoting her brand Good American lately, and a lot of the recent items have been baggier in size. Do you think that fans are getting ahead of themselves and Khloe's just wearing baggy clothing, or could she really be pregnant with baby number 2?
Alex, this woman is not pregnant. ... yet. Khloe decided that she wanted to pull over and put on some boyfriend jeans. I worked at Lucky Brand for a few years, so it looks like a good fit. So shout out to her. I don't think that she's pregnant yet. I definitely don't. I don't know why the girls are like this, but I guess it makes sense. Will they, won't they? Her interest in, will they, won't they have a baby? But I don't think that it is that time yet.
I agree. I think that, they're still trying to maneuver this bi-coastal thing and him moving to Boston, all of that. I don't necessarily think it's the time in their life to do this. However, I specifically with this photo, though, like you said, the baggy sweatshirt, the boyfriend jeans, she just looks cute and comfy. Like, it doesn't have to go that far. And good for her, still working on designing her destiny. But no, I personally don't think she is pregnant at this moment.
Do you think that maybe they'll get pregnant by the holiday, Alex? Something like that? Or like when the cameras turn off officially? Well, I guess they are off officially now. I feel like, if anything, now is the period to get pregnant if their new Hulu venture is not focusing exclusively or specifically on their lives. Now is the time, but I don't think that the time has come.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a very good point. When the cameras are off, it would make more sense. Have your privacy, do what you really want to do with your life, and kind of move forward. But I just don't see it happening for a while. I think Khloe, understandably, is still very guarded. Even though she's more open to posting about him and more public about their relationship, I still think that she's kind of trying to just figure out life, co-parenting, him moving across the country. There's a lot more to worry about yet than bringing another baby into the world. But I wouldn't be surprised. She has said before that she would like True to have another sibling. So it's eventually coming. I just don't know if it's just yet.
Here's a question, Alex, and this may be a sensitive topic. Do you think that there's a possibility that maybe Khloe and Tristan would consider having a surrogate if, for whatever reason, which we might not know or not, if she's unable to have it anymore? Because we know that Khloe wants to have more children, but maybe maybe not be able
Wow.
to. So maybe they're working through potentially other options. And things
Wow.
like this are to like throw us off, you know? Maybe she purposely put that up there so we could feel that way.
Yeah, that interesting. Interesting. I mean, you could
Hmm.
just go down the whole rabbit hole when you when you think about.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, you can think of so many different speculations, but at this point,
Mhm.
she's just looking comfy. Like, give her a break. But
Yeah, Josephina is saying if I was just chilling and someone said I was preggo, nah, just thick and comfy. Josephina, you could be absolutely right. Chloe could have just had some donuts, girl, and was minding her business with the good nail.
yes. Okay, well, let's move on to someone that did definitely catch a break. For our OMT story, of course, we're talking about Justin Bieber, who is taking the time to reflect on his past misdeeds in a new post to Instagram account. To his Instagram account, Justin posted a picture of his 2014 arrest for drag racing and driving intoxicated in Miami. Of course, he got a DUI. Justin captioned his photo with this message, quote, 7 years ago today, I was arrested. Not my finest hour, not proud of where I was at in my life. I was hurting, unhappy, confused, angry, misled, misunderstood, and angry at God. I also wore too much leather for someone in Miami. My encouragement to you is to let your past be a reminder of how far God has brought you. Love you guys with my whole heart. Friends and family alike showed Justin's support for his post, with celebs such as 2 Chainz and Scooter Braun posting supportive comments to the pic. Justin has been working hard to reinvent himself over the last year, and not just artistically. He seems to be putting a big effort into showing that he wants to grow from his past mistakes and become a more naturally joyful person. What do you think of Justin's kind of reflection, and why do you think this is coming out right now?
Um, I want to say I'm glad that Justin addressed it in order to show that there has been growth. Because putting Justin aside, I think that the actual post itself shows that you can make mistakes and have a journey and then look back and be like, wow, look how far I've come. I'm such a better person for working through whatever I was going through. But I just wouldn't be surprised if Justin were like gonna put out their, what was that, anyone? You know what I mean? I really think that Justin is really working on, I really feel like Justin is working on his public perception because right now he is in a place where he can just put out whatever it be the quickest number one. Like he's not going to put out a driver's license at this point, you know? So in order to help on the charts in the way that he once was, maybe his idea, maybe Scooter's idea, speculation not coming, is to work on his public perception because for a lot of people outside of Believers, a lot of people are still stuck in 2014. A lot of people decided that once Justin peed in the mop bucket that they were just, and even then, Alex, I'll even say just a recent example, even when Wendy Williams brings up Justin Bieber, which is rare, it's few and far between, she brings up when he came to visit her show after peeing in the mop bucket and he was awful behind the scenes. So people don't forget, but I am glad that he brought it up to say, you don't have to forget, but just know that I changed. And I can acknowledge that.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point that a lot of people are stuck in this time of Bieber's life, and he probably and maybe for the rest of his life will have to kind of defend that if he chooses to do so. I will say, however you feel about Justin Bieber, this man now, but this young boy came into the limelight at a very young age. The pressure he received during that time, the attention was unbelievable. So for him to kind of get to this dark place and able to have this comeback is very admirable. It was the anniversary yesterday, which is why I think he felt the need to kind of touch on it. Also making the joke about wearing too much leather for someone in Miami, even being self-deprecated about it, shows how much growth he's had. And, you know, you can't, however, again, you feel about Justin Bieber, you cannot deny that he has grown a lot. He also really believes in his faith and wants to promote that and wants to help other people through that, through his own growth. So I I admire it. And I love, at the end of the day, being a Bieber fan for so long. I love seeing him in a good place. I'd rather him be in this place than in that dark place 7 years ago, personally.
You know what I wonder, Alex, after discussing this? I wonder if Justin is still close friends or even friendly still with like Kyle Massey, Lil Flip or Lil Twist, one of the Lils. All those guys he was hanging out with around that time. I wonder if he is still friendly with them. And the reason why, Alex, is because around that time, a lot of blame, although we were all like, oh my God, Justin Bieber is doing this, that, and the third, a lot of blame was placed on Kyle Massey, Lil Twist, Lil Flip, whatever his name is, and those guys that he was hanging around with. And I wonder if it was Justin's choice to separate if they're not friends anymore, or if it was Scooter, the church, Haley, just because we don't hear that kind of stuff anymore, like Justin and Kyle Massey or Justin and Lil, whatever it is. We don't hear that kind of stuff anymore. So I'm curious, what did Justin change about his life besides the spirituality aspect to get to where he is today? If I were interviewing Justin, that's what I would want to know. Well, girl, what did you do? All we know is you married Haley and you broke up with Selena. What did you do internally to get to where you are?
Yeah, I think to answer that question, that's a good point. I'm interested as well. I also think that he is human at the end of the day. And like any other human, as we grow, as we get older, there are people that come in and out of our lives. You know, there's that reason, season, or a lifetime type of thing. And maybe those relationships were there during that time. Now he's fostered other relationships, and that's okay too. So, but I am interested to learn that also. Good question. But Courtney, that is all the tea we have to spill today. What a fun Monday, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow to have a little tequila and spill some more tea for you for Tequila Tuesday. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to read them. And Courtney, if they want more of you after the show, where can they find you?
If you want more of me after the tea, just find me on social media. Instagram, Twitter, where I talk too much, TikTok, I can't dance on there, and also have my own podcast, Overheard in the Pantry, and my own individual YouTube channel. Just take my name there, type it up top, it all comes up. Where can they find you, Shiftman?
You can find me on all social media as well, just like my name, at Alex Schiffman. And Courtney, now it's time to wash this tea off our hands, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, Tea Tribe. Take it away, Courtney.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And now it's time to wash your hands, Leo. You better wash your hands, and gentlemen. Wash your hands.